Hello, everybody. Josh here, and welcome back to another post-show review. Where today we will be going over WWE NXT from August 26, 2025, that just went down, just wrapped up. So we're going to be going over that. Like we do every single day with Raw, NXT, Dynamite. I don't think I did Dynamite last week. TNA and SmackDown, all that stuff. A fairly okay episode of NXT. It was better than last week by just a touch. Um so a pretty okay episode that we're going to be going over. I'm going to be breaking down everything that happened from the matches to the segments to the promos, all of that good stuff. And if this is something that interests you and you love the content on this channel, then make sure you hit the subscribe button, make sure you hit the like button, drop a comment down below of your thoughts on everything that I go over, or anything else really. Just if you want to drop in an opinion, wrestling related, go for it in the comment section. Make sure you hit the notification bell so you're up to date with all the videos, podcasts, and interviews coming to the channel. I have a very special interview coming this weekend, or at least I'm going to be recording it this weekend. I'm not sure as of yet when it's going to be released. But I will be doing an interview this weekend, so make sure you stay tuned for that and watch out for that. And the best way to do that and to know when it's up is having notifications on. I will be having that podcast up early on the Ko-Fi page, or that interview, I should say, up early on the Ko-Fi page on the exclusive wrestling content tier, which is $5 minimum to subscribe. So if that is something that interests you and you are able to, that would be greatly appreciated if you guys can pitch in $5 minimum to subscribe to the exclusive wrestling content tier. There's that. Make sure you guys join up the Discord server as well if you want a place to talk about wrestling or non-wrestling things. I'm trying to build a little bit of a community in there in the Discord server, so make sure you guys go ahead and join that up as well. Make sure you check out the Kayfabe Central website, where I post all my coverage posts, all my written predictions, all my articles are all up on the Ko-Fi, not the Ko-Fi page, the Kayfabe Central website. I kept mixing those up today in my TikTok preview for NXT, and I said like Ko-Fi Central. I was like, what? No, that's not what it is at all. Too many things to self promote, and too many platforms. But hey, that's how you get your name out there in today's world. So yeah, make sure you guys go check all of that out. Make sure you guys go check out my Twitter, slash X, whatever you call it. Trying to build a little bit more of a base on there as well. All news is posted on my Twitter and my Instagram page, so go ahead and check those out. It's at Kayfabe Central, or on X at Central Kayfabe. Either way, it's always in the description below, so make sure you guys go ahead and check out all the links that are posted down there. That's all the self promo out of the way. Let's get straight into NXT. We opened the show with Ricky Saints coming out. Excuse me. Ricky Saints came out and talked about how he wants the NXT Championship and he's going to be the one to dethrone Obafemi, and pretty much talked about how he's been here for 6 months and is already a former NXT North American champion, but has not won the NXT title yet. Josh Briggs interrupted, came out and says, no, I'm next in line. And they went a bit back and forth with that, talking about why they deserve a title shot. And of course, Ava comes out. Ava says, okay, we're going to have a number one contender match tonight. So that was set for later on in the night, which we're going to get into. Pretty standard promo there. Nothing really special happened. No brawl or anything even happened. It was just, I deserve it. No, I deserve it. Ava comes out. Okay, number one contenders match. So nothing really special there. The match that kicked off the night, though, was Kalani Jordan defeating Blake Monroe by pinfall, with some help from Jordan Grace, which was expected. Now, I didn't actually expect Kalani Jordan to win this match. If you guys saw my predictions either on the Ko-Fi page, I don't know if I said it on my TikTok, but I said it was either going to be a disqualification finish or Blake Monroe was going to win and Jordan Grace would attack after. How it actually went down though is in the middle of the match, Jordan Grace came out. Um, Blake Monroe blanked for a second. Blake Monroe decided to run just like she did 3 weeks prior when she faced Kalani Jordan. But the door was locked. Jordan Grace chased after her, but didn't touch her, and pretty much just chased her back to the ring, right into Kalani Jordan, who capitalized and pinned Blake Monroe to win. So I was correct in a sense, half correct with my prediction. Jordan Grace did get involved, and this feud is continuing. Um, they weren't going to end the feud with Blake Monroe winning the match. They're going to run it back probably at No Mercy, maybe some sort of stipulation being added to this match, or to this feud, I should say. So, I mean, at this point, they probably should add a stipulation, at least to try to make it a little more interesting. Personally, I'm not all that interested in this feud. I was kind of hoping it would be over with after Heat Wave, but after Blake Monroe won, I was like, yeah, this feud is continuing. Um, After that, we had a blindfold match. Now, there were some backstage segments that I missed early on, so I didn't have them written down, but there were a couple backstage segments. Like we had Charlie Dempsey and Ren Sinclair backstage, and Ren was like stressing because she's like, oh, I don't have a tag partner for later on. And then Charlie was like, oh, I got you a partner, and it ended up being Kendall Gray. As expected, like I said, it made the most sense based off what's happened in recent weeks. So yeah, Kendall Gray is Ren Sinclair's partner for that tag match that happened a little bit later on. But the match that was after the Kalani match was the blindfold match between Lexus King and Miles Bourne, and where Lexus King won. Lexus King inadvertently poked the referee in the eye, and then the referee was out of it for a little bit. Lexus King then raised his blindfold and then delivered a low blow to Miles Bourne, and then hit his finisher to win. I'm not sure what he calls his finisher. I didn't catch it if they said what the name was. Um, but then yeah, pinned Miles Bourne to win the match. I actually didn't see this coming. I should have. This should have been an easy one to predict that Lex King would cheat his way out. I think I was just hoping that this feud was going to be over with, because at times it's funny. Like this match itself was, they had some funny moments in there, but overall it was just stupid. It was a stupid funny, and it's not a feud that should be continuing. So I was kind of hoping that Miles Bourne would just win here, and then the feud would be over with. But knowing NXT, these two are going to have a match at NXT No Mercy. I don't think that's a PLE worthy match, but that's probably what they're going to do. We then had the Culling, Izzy Dame, and Tatum Paxley defeating Ren Sinclair and Kendall Gray. Another prediction I got wrong. My predictions recently have not been on point. So if anyone by chance, I doubt it, if anyone by chance is placing bets based off my predictions, I apologize. So yeah, the Culling defeated Ren Sinclair and Kendall Gray. There's a bit of a miscommunication between Izzy Dame and Tatum Paxley, where Tatum Paxley looked like she was going for a springboard, but Izzy Dame tagged herself in. And Tatum Paxley was kind of confused. And then I think at the end of the match, Tatum Paxley was in an armbar, but instead of saving Tatum Paxley, Izzy Dame went for, I believe it was Ren. Yeah, it was Ren she pinned because Kendall Gray had the armbar in, and pinned Ren Sinclair to win the match, which understandable. Like, your goal is to win the match. It's not to save your partner. And if you have a chance to win the match despite your partner being in a submission hold, then go ahead and win the match. So I get that, and it made perfect sense to me. In terms of the match itself, it was fine. There wasn't anything special about it. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't pay much attention to it because I just didn't really have any interest in this match. I thought that they were gonna go with the typical babyface going over, because when we're looking at history, when there's a mystery history mystery. When there's a mystery partner involved, usually when it's on the babyface side of things, the babyface wins. But not in this case. The calling picked up the victory, and yeah, like obviously I'm a fan of Izzy Dame. Um, Tatum Paxley, I'm still like in the middle between with her. But she she seems fine. She's a solid wrestler in the ring, so I have no reason to dislike her. Um, Ren Sinclair, she's solid in the ring as well. Kendall Gray, I haven't seen enough of to really comment on. But yeah, then we had the NXT Championship number one contenders match, a match that I thought that should have been the main event. Um, but it was Ricky Saints defeating Josh Briggs by pinfall. Ricky Saints becomes the number one contender for the NXT Championship, and I am so glad that they didn't go with the disqualification finish for this because I really thought that's the route that they were gonna go. But Ricky Saints ends up beating Josh Briggs clean. And then after the match, the way they did this was so weird. And I personally didn't like the way they did this. So after the match, Obafemi comes out. And then we go to commercial break. And then when we come back from commercial break, we have a backstage segment. Um where Lola Vice, Sol Ruka, and Zarya are all getting ready for the match, for the 6-woman tag team match main event. Um Voice crack. Jada Parker came up to Lola Vice, and pretty much just said, like, she did her thing at Heat Wave, and she's proud of her, and all that good stuff. Just pretty much praising Lola Vice. Lash Legend then comes into the frame, comes up to Jada Parker, and pretty much tells Jada Parker she's going soft, and after all those losses, she's getting humbled. And then Jada Parker tells Lash that she lost to Nia Jax, and she's still not humbled yet. And then Jada Parker walks by Stax and Ariana Grace. I guess like they were kissing or whatever. And then it was just like, oh, I'm gonna throw up. Like this was so stupid. It was so stupid, but this is what NXT is. NXT is just it's a sitcom at this point without the laughing track. Um, and that's majority of what they do on NXT. So it's kind of stupid, honestly, and I'm not a huge fan of it. Of like, obviously, I get the entertainment aspect of it, but when you take it to levels like NXT's taking it to, it's not the greatest thing ever. Sometimes it's okay, like if you do it once in a blue moon, like every now and then, sure, why not? I like some entertainment now and then, and sometimes the segments that they have been doing were funny. This just wasn't though. This was just stupid. And I like Jada Parker. Jada Parker's one of my favorites in WWE right now. Um, like same goes with Lola Vice and Sol Ruka and all that stuff. But this segment just wasn't good. There was nothing to this segment at all. Nothing progressed from this segment. The way I look at things and the way like when I play universe mode on 2K because I love like writing stories. Like I've said multiple times, like I think if I was a writer at WWE, I would do a lot better than some of the current writers. That's just me too to my own horn, a little bit, but every time you have a segment, it needs to mean something and it needs to progress somewhere. That's the way I look at it. Every single match that you have on a weekly TV show, every single segment you have on a weekly TV show, it should mean something and it should lead somewhere. When I saw this segment, I'm like, this is not going to lead anywhere. If anything, it's only going to lead to Jada Parker first Lash Legend on some random episode of NXT, which is not interesting to me. I'm not interested in that at all. Um, I think both women could be doing something a lot better. I think both women are very talented and they should be doing something a lot better other than this, whatever this is. Um, but yeah, I was talking about how they did this. So they did that, then the backstage segment that I just talked about, and then we came back to the ring with Obafemi and Ricky Saints, which was just so weird because like Were they just staring at each other the entire time? Like, I wonder how that looked for the live crowd. And if anybody watching this was at NXT tonight, please let me know on how they did that, and if maybe Obafemi was just flaunting to the crowd, or if Ricky Saints was just flaunting to the crowd. It must have been awkward. It must have been for them to just be sitting there that entire time. And yeah, so but Obafemi came out, and Ricky Saints pretty much told him that at No Mercy, Obafemi's reign was going to come to an end. Um, and then Obafemi told Ricky Saints when he looks in his eyes that he sees fear. And then when he's standing across from him, that he's just a mediocre man and just a regular guy. Um, Dark State then comes out. For some reason, I didn't expect this. But Dark State showed up once again and was pretty much like, you think because we won NXT Tag Gold, we're content. That's not the case. And then they came down, they attacked Obafemi and Ricky Saints, but then Hank and Tank came out and made the save, and Dark State retreated. Um, Again, I'm not a fan of Dark State right now. All of this stuff is just pointless. There's no point in it, and it's not going to go anywhere. No members of Dark State is going to win the NXT Championship. I don't think any one of them is going to win the North American Championship. I think the NXT Tag Gold is right now is as far as they're gonna get. Maybe like years down the line, if they really progress and Dark State becomes bigger, which I honestly don't think it will. I think this group will be over with in maybe a couple of years, to be honest, because there's really no point in this. It's literally just retribution all over again. And I will stay with that point until I see something differently. And the only thing that was keeping this faction relevant really was the things Cutler James was saying. Other than that, Dark State winning the NXT tag titles, it really means nothing to me. I knew that they were going to win the tag titles, but if they can do something really good with those titles, then I will change my mind. But I have yet to see anything from Dark State that yells out they're they're really dangerous, or just because they're attacking everybody week after week does not make them a dangerous threat, does not make them want me to take them serious, because again, Retribution did the same thing and look where that ended up. So that was that. Ava announced a tournament to determine who will face Sol Ruka for the Speed Championship at No Mercy. So they're full on going with that. In my opinion, and like next week, the first match of the tournament will be Candice LeRae versus Zaya Brookside from TNA. In my opinion, and I get that they're trying to, I guess, get titles on people and get everybody on the roster and, give everybody a shot to get TV time. I understand that. But in my opinion, I have no interest in seeing the Speed Championship being defended on a PLE. I don't, because of how they treated Speed, and nobody watched Speed. I didn't watch Speed. I don't know anybody that did. Um, and like I was looking at the highlights from the Speed, like the past Speed Championships when they were showing it on NXT. I had no idea Candice LeRae held the Speed Championship at one point. No idea. So I haven't been paying attention to this, and like this obviously is going to be 3 minutes. All the matches are 3 minutes because Speed Championship, Speed rules. Um, but yeah, I have no interest in seeing this at all. Um, I don't know if Sol Ruka is going to pull double duty, but in my opinion, if Speed is gone, the championship should be gone too. And um, she should be defending that North American title because, in my opinion, that's the more prestigious title. That's part of NXT. And I guess now they've added the Speed titles to NXT, but it just doesn't make sense to me. So, and I guess now that means El Grande Americano is going to be on NXT. I don't know, man. I just don't see this working out the way that WWE thinks it's going to work out. I can just see this being a whole mess, and then them eventually scrapping the Speed Championship as a whole. Um, but yeah, there's that, and then we had Tyra May Steele defeating Alba Fire by pinfall. A match that meant nothing. I had no interest in this match. I had no idea what was happening until like Alba Fire and the Chelsea Green and Ethan Page, all and the Secret Harvest came out. Um, no interest in this match at all. The match was okay at best. Um, and I'm a fan of Alba Fire. Like when she was Kaylee Ray in NXT UK, she was fantastic. Um, but this match didn't do anything for me. I still cannot get behind Tyra May Steele. I think she's still very green, and I think that she should be. I don't know if she's ready for this kind of spotlight yet. Because everything she does in there, and fine, kudos to her. She's using her amateur wrestling background, but that's all she does. That is literally all she does. And I don't know. I can't get behind her just yet. Maybe it's too soon, but in my opinion, she's still a little bit too green. Um, and yeah, this match meant nothing. Um, After the match, Chelsea Green attacked Tyra from behind. Um, Tavion Heights came in the ring to try and stop Chelsea Green. He grabbed Chelsea's hand after she tried to slap him, but then Ethan Page attacked him from behind, laid him out with a title, hit a twisted grin on him, and then laid a Canadian flag over the top of him. Um, yeah, and that was the segment. Again, I love Ethan Page and I love Chelsea Green. I think they are absolutely fantastic. Um, like if it were up to me, Chelsea Green would be challenging Tiffany Stratton for the WWE Women's Championship. But she's doing something like this instead, which like I just mentioned, I think she should be in a bigger spotlight. Ethan Page is absolutely fantastic as well. He's one of my favorites, if not like my top favorite in NXT right now. And in the WWE as a whole, he's just absolutely great. And that's not biasness because we're both Canadian. Um, they both are really fantastic. But then that was that. Then backstage, Hank and Tank approached Ava. They were asking for a tag title rematch against Dark State. Ava said Dark State already came in here, asked for the same thing. And then next week, it's going to be an 8-man tag team match. Hank and Tank is going to be teaming with Obafemi and Ricky Saints to take on Dark State. So we have another 8-man tag team match. I I don't like this. And I know that I was one that was complaining that Dark State wasn't competing in 8-man tag team matches. But man, this is not going to mean anything either. Like, are we ever going to get the reveal of Trick Williams being the leader? Is there even a leader for Dark State? We don't know. And if there is a leader, if there's a time to reveal it, it's now because there's nothing going on for Dark State, and they're the NXT Tag Team Champions. Maybe I'm being too harsh, but the way I'm seeing it right now, everything they're doing just doesn't mean much. Um, but you guys let me know in the comments if I'm being too harsh and if you guys see it differently. Um, Backstage, we had Fatal Influence with Sarah Schreiber. JC Jane was saying that Ash by Elegance stole the Knockouts title from her. Jasmine Nix then pitched in and said, I'm going to win the Speed Championship because, both of you have won titles and I'm the only one who hasn't. JC then said if anyone's going to win the Speed Championship, it's going to be Fallon Henley. And, said Jasmine hasn't won any titles for a reason. Jasmine clapped back saying, nobody thought you'd be a double champ, let alone, no one thought you would win one championship, let alone two. And then the segment just ended there. So some friction between Fatal Influence still. That then led to the 6-woman tag team match main event. Lola Vice, Sol Ruka, and Zarya defeating Fatal Influence by pinfall, and went almost exactly how I predicted it. I said Jasmine Nix was going to take the pin. Instead, it was Fallon Henley. Jasmine Nix looked really good in this match, and I actually enjoyed this match. This was a good 6 woman tag, as expected. All 6 women are talented, and honestly, this was the highlight of NXT. This was the only highlight of NXT was this 6 woman tag team match. So kudos to these 6 women. They did absolutely fantastic. Jasmine Nix was looking great. All of them were looking great, and then the end of the match was pretty solid as well, with Sol Ruka hitting the Soul Snatcher on Nix, and then Lola Vice picking up the pinfall over Fallon Henley. I figured Lola Vice was going to get the pinfall victory to gain momentum for her ahead of her NXT Women's Championship match against JC Jane. Just a slight wrong prediction there. I thought that Lola was going to end up pinning Jasmine Nix, but obviously not the case. Um, and yeah, that was NXT for August 26th, 2025. Um, Another episode of NXT that was just okay. And overall just wasn't all that good. The like I said, the only thing good that came out of this was the main event. And even that, it was a solid match, but like I don't know if it makes up for the rest of the 2 hours of this show. Um, but yeah, let me know what you guys thought about NXT. Let me know if I'm being too harsh on NXT. Maybe this was a good show and I'm just being too critical and too harsh. So let me know what you guys think. If you agree or disagree, I always love hearing you guys' opinions. And there's multiple ways you can let me know your opinions. You can let me know in the comment section of this video. You can let me know on the Kayfabe Central Ko-Fi page as well on the exclusive wrestling content tier. It's $5 minimum to subscribe. So if you are able to, that would be greatly appreciated. You can let me know in Spotify comments as well. Like I've mentioned before, these post shows aren't on Spotify. They're only on YouTube, but every other podcast and interview is going to be on Spotify. So you can let me know over there. You can also let me know on the Kayfabe Central website. I have a comment section over there as well. I also have like a little bit of a group slash community feature over there, so you can go ahead and join up there. Yeah, multiple ways you can let me know your opinion, whether you agree or disagree. You can even send me a message on TikTok, Instagram, or Twitter. Go check all of those out. All of the links are in the description below. So yeah, make sure you guys go check all of that out. And yeah, I will be back tomorrow with my AEW Dynamite post show, and then on Thursday I plan to release the Clash in Paris predictions with Rue and Stu. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Make sure you have notifications on. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like and all that good stuff. And I will see you guys in the next one. Take it easy.